PTSD recovery for veterans. The benefits of the NADA acupuncture protocol. Adapted from 7-Point Wellness PTSD recovery for veterans. My father was a Navy SEAL. I never knew my father was a Navy SEAL until after his passing, on the day of his memorial almost 30 years later. We all knew he'd served in the Navy, but that was it. He never talked about his service in the Korean War, nor his multiple tours in Vietnam, and he served right up until the very end. In later years, as a civilian, he never made comment on the modern-day wars, such as the Persian Gulf or any of the other international conflicts blasted across the news. He just kept his head down, chain-smoked, played old-time jazz on the piano, tended to his beloved koi in the backyard pond, and tinkered with his classic 64th Thunderbird. He also worked and lost 100-odd jobs over the years to make ends meet. He barely slept. Sometimes his hands shook for no reason. Planes and helicopters overhead made him go instantly still, waiting, listening, and eventually breathing again once they'd passed. Committing to get-togethers like birthdays, weddings, or graduations was hard for him. Too many people, he always said. But it frustrated me to no end. I miss getting to know him more. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is often a silent, although destructive condition that millions of military servicemen and women grapple with when returning from deployment. In my father's era, the Korean and Vietnam War, it was not even considered a condition, and there were few resources to support those suffering through it. When my father passed away in 2000, we all gathered at his home for the memorial, only to be shocked by the unexpected visit from the brigade of Navy SEALs in full uniform, no less. They gifted us an American flag in his honor, gave a ceremonial salute to him, and over the course of the afternoon, the stories unfolded. I learned that my father was a Navy SEAL in a covert unit, that his unit's comrades adored him, and that he had special skills in submarine detonation. And according to them, he climbed like a monkey, swam like a fish, spoke 5 languages, and could hold his breath longer than anyone else in the unit. Who was this man? In retrospect, I recognize his PTSD for what it was, and see how it must have impacted his everyday life. The sleeplessness, shaking hands, chain smoking, dislike of crowds, his introversion, all impacts of the trauma itself. Today, there are so many ways traditional Chinese medicine can offer support to veterans, easing the burden brought about by the aftermath of post-war trauma, both emotionally and physically. One primary example is the advent and overwhelming success of the NADA acupuncture protocols. NADA is a protocol for 10 auricular or ear acupuncture points, which are often used in conjunction with other therapies for PTSD, pain management, anxiety, stress syndromes, insomnia, nightmares, and to minimize symptoms of withdrawal from drugs and alcohol. Today, there are millions of military men and women who would potentially benefit from such supportive treatments. If my father were alive today, I would embrace him in awe of all he gave and lived through, and I would say thank you. Ask us more. We'd be honored to be part of your path of wellness. What is the NADA acupuncture protocol? NADA ear acupuncture is a clinically effective adjunct therapy which is cost-efficient, drug-free, and compatible cross-culturally. The process involves the gentle placement of up to 5 very thin, sterilized disposable needles in specific acupuncture points on the ear. The NADA protocol utilizes a non-verbal approach. As a recipient, you do not have to talk, you just receive. Recipients sit quietly in a group setting of 30 to 45 minutes, allowing the treatment to take effect. It is easy to administer within behavioral health, addiction, military, or disaster relief settings, or in any location a group of people can sit together. The combined application of acupuncture with counseling, education, medical support, and veteran support groups enhances opportunities for success. The benefits of the NADA acupuncture protocols include reduced cravings for alcohol and drugs, including nicotine. It literally changes your brain chemistry. It minimizes drug and alcohol withdrawal symptoms, such as tremors, sweating, joint pain, anxiety. It increases calmness and significantly reduced agitation. There's improved sleep, reducing incidence of night terrors. It's concurrent with improved outcomes during talk therapies such as counseling. NADA protocols are safe with no negative side effects, counterindications with other medications, or concurrent therapies. There is a cumulative impact. The more frequently applied, the more impact sustained. And NADA protocols can be applied daily.